Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Fourth and a Dream podcast. It is me, your host, Red, with my ever lovely co-host that's about to roast me, the commish. And then we have a special guest up in the top left-hand corner this week, a fellow member of the Volusia Flagler Fantasy Football League, Mr. Tropic Thunder. How we doing, boys? It's playoff
Good.
time. You guys excited for the playoffs? You too?
Oh, hey man,
Sure.
I'm beyond thrilled,
Yeah.
beyond thrilled about the playoffs because with my esteemed brother-in-law with joining us tonight, man, like him and I have an opportunity to completely set the draft order this upcoming season and yeah, royally put it to some of y'all in this league.
Yeah. I can't wait to draft 7th.
That is the
Yeah,
worst spot.
if
That is the worst spot.
if I'm able to secure victory in the consolation bracket, not only will you be 7th, but I've got two people I can think of off the top of my head. They're going to be at 5 and 6 as well. So excuse me, 6 and 8. They're just going to be sandwiched in right on the outside of it, right on the outside of you.
Awesome. So Miyagi and
I might just put my brother-in-law there on the opposite side.
bring it, dude. Bring
Let
it.
let them put you in the old rotisserie chicken.
That's fine. I made out all right this time.
Hey, there you go.
You know. All right, so I mean, we could just get right into it, right? I mean, we could talk week 14, and you could say what you need to say, and we had some games that really turned the tide in our playoff race, in our playoff bracket. We had some big W's and then some tough L's last week. So we'll go ahead and we'll get into it. Try not to get too far off your Richter there, Kamish.
Yeah, what you got on that list, man?
You know what? We need the content. Just fucking let me have it. Starting off though, we'll start this one off with a bang. Snitches Get Stitches decided to show up in week 14, 88 over Tropic Thunder's underwhelming 67 points. Who wants to start this one off?
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna let my brother-in-law kind of marinate on this one a little bit, and I'm gonna give you my little my quick synopsis here. I don't think anybody in this league saw this one coming. I mean, let's be real here. Snitches Get Stitches. He's been on vacation on the other side of the globe for the past month. So the fact that he was able to muster up 88 points is stunning. James Cook with 20 points paces him for the week, and I'm really at a loss for words, man, because Tropic Thunder really had it cooking the last month. But if there's one guy on his side of the ball that I think was completely shocking to me this week, it was Mike Evans, man. I could not dream up a scenario 1,000 different ways where he would finish the week with one catch for 8 yards. So disappointing to say the least.
Trust me, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. It's not how I wanted to go out, having the worst week of my season on the week I needed it the most, but it is what it is. You know it's going to go bad when Christian McCaffrey starts off the game with a 72-yard run, but doesn't get in the end zone, and then they give it to Jordan Mason the next play. So it is what it is. Sometimes it's not your week. Sometimes it is.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, you were a team that I saw coming down the stretch that started to become quite terrifying, to be honest. Trevor Lawrence is firing on all cylinders, and he played this week. I know you didn't play him, but he played this weekend.
Well, it's funny. Of all things that happened, the best decision I made was not playing him, and I still lost. So
this is true. And I know at the beginning of the season you weren't big on the Mike Evans pick, but Mike Evans did pretty well for you most of the season. To what the commish said, it's unfortunate that he showed up with one catch for 8 yards. I don't really have a whole lot, other than that. It's kind of funny watching Patrick Mahomes act like a little girl
Yes, it is.
on
Is
TV.
it weird? Am I the only one who feels like people are starting to like turn on the whole, everyone loves Patrick Mahomes train?
Never been there.
Okay, well, yeah, you're a Pats fan, so I
Yeah.
feel like most
Oh, it's
most
deeper than
other
that, buddy. It's deeper than that.
Yeah, we could talk about that one after the record, but
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that one, but
I, I,
he's
I
100% a Swiftie now. Yeah, he acts like one. So,
oh yeah,
yeah,
he sold his soul to the devil. It's fine.
yeah.
yeah, it's super unfortunate, man. You got a guy who's arguably the face of the league, and being upset with a call at the end of the game is one thing, but I mean, I think he took it a little too far.
Yeah, dude.
It's not. It's not just that. Every play now, when you watch him, he literally looks up immediately to the ref for a flag. It's every play when you watch a game. It's ridiculous.
Oh, the week prior, he was pointing out a call that I believe wasn't called that he thought should have been, crying, and then when it happens to him and it's 100% legit, he acts like a 5-year-old and says that we should just play the game.
Kind of reminds me of somebody else I used to watch not too long ago.
All right, dude. All right, dude.
Moving along, right? Let's
It's already getting thick in here, dude.
go, baby. Who
Fucking
we got next?
cold bowl of gravy in this bitch tonight. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, baby. We're just getting warmed up, son.
Yeah. So moving on, wide receiver, losing to Aston Titties, 120-96. Aston Titties got hot at the wrong time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate, man. When you close the season out with was it 3 straight W's? And I mean every single one of them I believe was north of 115 points, man. It just
Yeah.
I mean it's a part of the fantasy football game that's absolutely maddening. It's like you wait all season for your team to just start firing all cylinders, and then it turns into a complete buzzsaw the last month of the season. But super unfortunate, man. Debo Samuel.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
That
Like
guy's coming on.
that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, and as far as Mrs. Kamish goes, dude, something ain't right in Buffalo. Stephon Diggs is, 4 catches, 24 yards, and I mean, she lost Brian Robinson last week, so I'm not gonna sit here and say that she's like barreling into the playoffs, like full bore ahead. But I mean, sit here and nitpick, but she still dropped 96 points on the week, which in standard scoring ain't nothing to sneeze at.
Absolutely.
So,
Tropic, you got anything on that?
I mean, at the end of the day, she still had, my sister still got, the bye at least on the strength of the rest of the schedule, so she knows that she's at least making it in the semis. So I mean, any given week, so she can, you just never know. So well, again, you like what happened to me this week. She's been on the downturn the last couple weeks, but she's made it to the big dance, and she's at least getting to the next round of the big dance too. So just 2 more wins, and she's got it. So you just, and then, on Anna's side again, it
and
sucks
she's
when you get hot at the wrong time, but it, hey, that's why we play, 13, 14 games to get there. It's not about 3 games at the end of the season. It's about all 13, 14 leading up to it. So
Absolutely. Yeah, and she winds up the season at 500. Unfortunately, due to the points and stuff like that, she didn't get a chance to get into the playoffs. But man, she could have been a very dangerous team in the playoffs. So kudos to her. Kudos to her. Moving on. I almost just skipped Smoking Joe again, dude.
do
dude.
you do it out of spite?
No, dude, I have no ill will against Clark. No ill will, dude. None at all. No, none. I don't know.
I didn't
Just
know if it was like because he's a Dolphins fan or like if you just there was something
no,
going on there. Just
no. Our relationship with the Patriots and the Dolphins is a friendly one, man. No ill will. I'm just an idiot. So, Master Bader, 120 over 60.
I mean, dude. I mean, this is like a situation where I feel like somehow, you know, the Bader was able to stand up in front of his roster and literally rally the troops. I mean, he probably showed them the couple-minute clip of you and I basically saying that Smoking Joe was getting ready to spring the upset, and the Bader came out and basically just blasted Smoking Joe into the next realm.
Yeah.
I mean, this game wasn't even close. I mean, he basically came out right from the shoot and just put the hammer down.
Shadow Realm territory. Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing what happened when Arthur Smith decides to finally give his, best offensive players the ball. It's a novel idea. I never heard of it before in football, but you give your best offensive players the ball, you tend to win the game. Although they choked because they're the Falcons, but got him the win. So
That's right. That's right.
So congratulations to the Bader on clinching the first round bye in the Shiva Blast division.
How about that Jake Browning pickup?
it's a quality one. I was between him and Stafford last week when I was debating between the quarterbacks. And I was, thought I had a pretty good chance at, making the playoffs. And I was looking at the schedules ahead. Stafford had the better, fantasy playoff schedule. So, but Jake Browning's been clutch. Now, has
Yes.
he been, Joe Burrow good? No, but I mean, I think with the rest of his team, he gives him a chance.
Yeah. 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 And they're now in playoff contention. So we'll see what happens, man. Imagine Joe Burrow losing his job. I know that's not going to happen, but imagine.
That's definitely not going to happen.
I mean, dude, we've
Now,
seen big quarterbacks lose their jobs.
one quarterback who's definitely losing his job, Danny Dimes. You got to give Tommy Cutlets his love. I'm just telling you right now, Tommy DeVito is going to kick his ass out of New York.
Think so?
Bro, that
Oh,
AJ
dude, you gotta get the
has been all
gabagool. There,
over
you
social
gotta love the
media.
gabagool. There's no way it's not happening.
They're playing good. They've won 3 in a row.
The mob will pay. What is it? The Roonies that own or Maras. I don't know. They're all related between the Steelers and the Giants. But the mob will take care of the 40 million guaranteed that Daniel Jones is owed next year. And hey, Tommy will be the starting quarterback in New York.
Quite possible. It's quite possible.
Just keep giving Saquon Barkley the ball, baby.
All right, so moving on, I guess. The commission's best part of the night.
Oh shit, are we getting ready to talk about Saquon Barkley and the boys again?
I mean, we can go ahead and start. We can go ahead and have this conversation and get it over with. Quad B's 116 over FMOC, 116 to 75.
I think I'm just gonna take this one straight out of Michael Jordan's playbook here.
Let her rip, tater shit.
And when I was told last week I was gonna get double tapped, I took that personally. And baby Billy Bobble Bonkers showed up this week, the 1 week out of the 14 weeks of the season, and straight dog walked that ass, son. 116 to 75. There's no in-depth analysis needed, but I just want to let the people out there know that I had Lamar Jackson and Cooper Kupp on my bench and still was able to ride off into the sunset comfortably this week.
Nuts on the table.
And that's all I got to say about that one.
Anything else?
I love you, buddy.
Thanks,
I
Tater.
know I'm sad that I'm not going to the playoffs, but it's like you've told me before. There's one game every year that matters.
That was it for you, huh?
And I get to enjoy it now for the rest of the offseason.
Hey, man, go win the consolation bracket, you know? I'm cheering for you.
I know you are.
Yeah. You have a take on this one, big guy? What are you
I
wearing?
mean, I think
Are you
those.
wearing a Tennessee Volunteers Christmas sweater?
Oh no! I'm wearing a much better. If anyone can read this, hats off to you. There's some nice tiny text on this shirt that is nice for everyone.
Oh boy.
Best Christmas sweater ever made.
Is that Hot
It's
Wheels?
a no, it's a Christmas sweater,
Look like a Hot
but
Wheels
it's
logo.
got.
Yeah, you can say it.
eh,
Cool.
Am I allowed to say it?
Oh yeah. We just can't say it a lot.
It's got "fuck off" spelled in about 15,000 different ways on here.
Oh, that's
You
sick.
can see around this icicle here, you got it, and then you got it coming up across the top and on your Christmas trees, and it's the
That's
best Christmas sweater ever.
that is actually a really nice Christmas sweater. Can I
I
borrow
figured,
that?
hey, you can. I don't know if it'll fit you, but we can try.
That's very rude, dude. It's very rude.
I mean, I'm small. It's not because you're big. It's because I'm small.
Oh, so you're the problem, not me. Okay, cool. So I don't have much to say about our matchup except that I forgot to hit record.
Oh, shut up.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we'll move on to that, dude. You got the W there. We split the matchups this season.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'll take that as a win in my book, dude.
This is true.
You know, you and Eric are my Achilles heels. So
Shocker.
I mean, Eric's been so unbelievably lucky this year. It's not even like fathomable.
he'll probably win everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works. If you're the lowest scored against in the league by like 300 points, you go into the playoffs and people just have their worst games of the year against you.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
It's like he knows.
It's that deal with the Rothschilds, dude.
No, I'm telling you.
Yep. Moving on. Speaking of the devil, Miyagi Illuminati 90-77 over Iron Smoke.
Again, that's not one I. My dad was hot. I was very surprised to see that happen. Now his team's in shambles this week. But,
Don't worry, he'll get hot next week.
His team's in shambles when it goes against you. Look at that. I'm just letting you know. But it's it was a well fought battle, and once again, he gets someone to score sub 80 on him. So congrats. That's all I got to say about that one. Just hey, keep your snake oil magic working and keep on moving. So
Yeah.
I think for me in this one, the fact that Tyreek Hill was in and out of the game versus Tennessee was definitely going against Iron Smoke in this one. And when you have a receiver that is consistently putting up between 15 and 20 points a game, that is going to really alter your production for the week. I also feel like the Iron Smoke side will probably be making a couple roster adjustments to the starting lineup this upcoming week. With Herbert being out, I feel like Russell Wilson's going to get plugged in. And I would imagine there's a good chance you'll see DeAndre Swift back in that starting lineup. But yeah, nice win for the Illuminati. Just chugging along.
Side note, dude, how about them Titans? No disrespect. Really, there isn't, but I did not see that coming at all.
hey, Ryan can attest to this. I called that before the game.
Yeah. I do have a friend outside this league that is a huge Dolphins fan and has literally been unloading truckloads of shit on me all season, right? For my lackluster performance from my Patriots, right? And I sent him. I'm in a group chat with him and another friend that's a Ravens fan, and the Ravens play the Dolphins coming up, right? So they've started to talk a little bit of shit. And I just sent a picture in the group chat this morning of Mike Rabel just smiling. Didn't go too well.
I got a question for you, Bowen. Now, because I've got a bunch of Pats fans that are buddies of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in the family of the you want them to keep losing, or would you like them still to try and win?
Well, thank you for letting me know that you don't watch this podcast very often. Awkward, huh? A little
Well,
weird. A little weird. So I am in
I've
the
been busy.
realm. I am in the realm of tank, tank, tank. Fire Bill. We need new blood in that system. But with the way I know Bill Belichick is, there's going to be Caleb Williams there. There's going to be Drake May there. There's going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. there. And he's going to trade away our potential second or third pick in the draft for 17 fifth rounders and a bottle of KY so he could pregame before he shows his cone titties in Nantucket.
You don't think they automatically are thinking Gerard Mayo's taking over?
I would love that. I like Gerard
I feel like
Mayo a
that's what's going
lot.
to happen. I feel
That's
like
what
that's what's
that's
going
what
to
they
happen.
say. That's what they say, right? And I don't want to get off on a tangent, but I've said this too, but I mean obviously you haven't seen it. So I'll reiterate it. I'm a huge Mike McDaniel fan. I love watching that offense. That's a really fun offense to watch. And I would love to have an offensive minded coach like that. Like him or a Sean McVay or a Kyle Shanahan. The league has evolved. And there's only a few coaches in this league that are elder that are still doing it. Right? Andy Reid. But who knows, man? I don't know. Chiefs are not the Chiefs that we've known the past 4 years. Right? But these younger coaches are coming in and they're doing things differently than the old school. And it's a hell of a good time to watch. And I'm ready to move on from Bill Belichick as probably the biggest Patriots fan you know. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of his resting bitch face. I'm tired of no excitement. I'm tired of boring fucking games. Get him the fuck out of here. Moving on. How about the Jolly Roger, dude?
I don't.
Let's just
I
talk
got
about the Jolly Roger.
I got to think back a long way to think about somebody in our league that was like this excited to make the playoffs. I mean,
I gotta call him tomorrow. I'm so
our
happy for
our
him.
our dude's on like cloud nine right now.
Yeah,
Now,
dude.
now I think back to a long time ago. I'm talking like the early years of this league, man. Within the first like 5 years, I can remember the Jolly Roger like starting out the season like 1-6, and then basically going on this 6-7 game tear to make the playoffs, and he ends up like ultimately winning it this like that year, right? And I see a lot of similarities to like what he put together this year in the sense that he finally found a quarterback in Brock Purdy who's been able to put up, you know, hella numbers.
Yeah.
Now, he got Justin Jefferson back, but I mean, the Vikings just played in the game where they won
By 3.
3-0. So,
Yeah.
like, I can't recall the Raiders being a very great defense in the league. And if that game's finishing at 3-0, that just tells me that there is some serious offensive
Yeah.
struggles on the Minnesota side of the ball. But
Shout
I
out to
mean,
the Raiders, though, real quick. Sorry to interrupt you, but shout out to the Raiders from taking a record that we just took over for losing in the lowest scoring game in the NFL in quite some time. I appreciate the Raiders taking that record from us. So shout out to all you Raiders fans. Get fucked.
yeah, man, kudos to Jolly Roger. I know the AT Aliens is disappointed, coming up short there at the end of the year. Derrick Henry had the 2 touchdown game. It was nice to see, but I was calling for Gus Edwards to do well this past week, and for the Ravens to put up 37 points and Gus Edwards to finish with 1.5 was kind of a shocker, man. But yeah, kudos to the JR. He wasn't going to be denied this season. So
Yeah.
welcome to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think he's got a good team. I mean, I think Gibbs has started picking it up in the latter half of the season, and Ayuk's been consistent. Kieran Williams has been, lights out since he's come back from injury, and he fought his way in there, and I think he's going to be a tough out moving forward.
Potentially scariest team in the playoffs right now.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Joe Mixon's getting the ball a lot more. He's producing. Kyron Williams, like you said, is producing. Justin Jefferson looks like he will play. That's what I saw this morning.
Nick Mullins at QB.
What happened to Josh Dobbs? Did he get hurt? I missed that.
They're benching him. They're benching him.
I mean, I get that. I don't know, man. He's got a good team. From top to bottom, he's got a good team. So, we'll see what happens. But good for him. I'm happy for him. And to win the Battle of the Northeast Georgia War Room in the final week of the season, and to knock AT Aliens out of the playoffs and get in the playoffs, it's pretty fucking legendary. Just saying. I mean, I know he's one of my best buds, and I'm talking him up, but you know he deserves it. So, kudos, my friend.
Playoffs?
Playoffs? I'm not playing a button. Okay, we'll play a button in the last game of the season. The button's turned off right now.
There we go.
All right. Sorry, Lee.
So we got Bader on a bye and we got wide receiver on a bye, right?
They're chilling, dude. They're watching from home. They're grabbing their popcorn. And they're probably going to watch the 2 lowest scoring games in fantasy playoff history.
Facts.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and fire it off. Iron Smoke versus Friday Morning Oil Change.
All right, man. I'm going to start on the FMOC side of the ball.
Great.
Okay. So I got Monday Night Football, Eagles, and the Seahawks. Okay. Things ain't looked right in Philly the last couple weeks. Okay. My concern with this game is going to be you've got a team that's traveling from Philly out to the West Coast. You're going to go see the 12th man out there in Seattle. And I just got this weird feeling that this game might be like oddly closer than what anybody wants to see, right? That concerns me for you. I'm also looking at Jordan Addison in your starting lineup, who's playing for a team that just scored 3 points. Also a concern. Top to bottom, the majority of your matchups worry me. On the flip side, for Iron Smoke, if there's there's 2 guys I'm going to highlight here. That's going to be DK Metcalf going up against the most generous secondary in fantasy football versus wide receivers. Okay. And DK Metcalf the last 2 weeks has 4 touchdowns through the air, 3 against the Cowboys and 1 against the Niners, both what I would consider pretty formidable defenses. Okay. And Rashad White, who has quietly amassed a season where he is a RB1, right now currently the 6th highest scorer in RB in standard scoring. And he's going up against a Green Bay Packers defense that, according to the matchups, is ranked 23rd against RBs in scoring. Also a concern. I am worried for you this week, brother. I don't think this is going to bode well for you. I think my father-in-law gets right this week and is going to be led by those 2 individuals. I think this one's going to be close, but give me Iron Smoke 140-70 over FMOC.
Nice, dude.
That is a bold prediction.
Yeah.
That is a very bold prediction.
Close this week. Close.
I think it'll be a little bit closer than that. The injuries are definitely stacking up on Pops there. Tyreek being who knows what's going on with the ankle. He's been hobbling the last couple weeks and definitely clearly was, more injured even so against the Titans. And obviously he's been carrying, the heart and soul of that team throughout the season. I think DeAndre Swift has to go in for him this week. I think it's going to be a good matchup against the Seahawks with DeAndre this week over Singletary. I think it's a potentially a high scoring affair for DeAndre. So I think that, like you said, I think that game is going to be close, and I think that the Eagles may recommit to running the ball this week, given some of the issues Jalen Hurts has been having. One thing I will say is Brees Hall with a renewed Zach Wilson Friday morning oil change could potentially get some better quality touches. Although Miami's defense has been very good against running backs outside of catching running backs, and again through the air, I think Brees could have a big 80 to 100 yards through the air, which is hey, it doesn't matter how you get the points. Points all count. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to go with Pops for one reason and one reason only. Deontay Johnson is a team cancer, whether it be in Pittsburgh or in your lineup, Bowen. He is a team cancer. So as long as he's in there, you have no shot because he does not care and he will screw you until the end of time. I'm going to give it to Pops 96.4 to Friday morning oil change 89.3.
Deontay Johnson's given me touchdowns in back-to-back weeks, but I've also lost, so your point could be valid.
Hey, the Steelers have also lost in back-to-back weeks with those touchdowns.
This is true. Dude, I think I'm in a little bit of trouble here too, right? I'm not going to lie. I don't know how that Seattle-Philly game is going to play out. 2 weeks ago, Philly was arguably the best team in the NFL, and now everybody's wondering, after getting not beaten, but fucking torched by the Cowboys and the Niners, right? Who are they? Who is, what is the image of the Philadelphia Eagles going forward? This game, I believe, is going to determine that. It's going to be close, and they're going to lose, or they quite possibly could torch the Seahawks. I think if Seattle wins, it's not going to be by a large margin. DK Metcalf is absolutely terrifying. That guy's a freak of nature. I'm pretty sure he's 8 foot tall and built like a redwood tree. And he's fast. I'm leaning more towards it all depends on what happens with Tyreek Hill, right? Is he going to be healthy? If he is healthy enough to go, is Sauce Gardner going to follow him? Sauce Gardner is known to not follow.
Yeah, he didn't the last game they played.
He didn't. I think this is going to be a little bit closer than the Commish's 140 to 70. And I could quite possibly eat crow here and lose by 0.4 of a point.
Oh, boy. Yikes.
And I haven't been big on picking myself this season. And then I say that, and then I pick myself anyways. And if you guys think that I'm going to do anything other than that, then you're wrong. I'm torching your father and your father-in-law this weekend.
That's fine. It doesn't affect the will for me. So
okay, I'm torching him. I'm torching him, or I'm losing by 1,000.
That's on the table?
That's on the table. I'm not showing up for the podcast next week if I lose. I'm just letting you know now. Actually, I will 100%. But I don't know, man. Joking aside, it's going to be a close one. I don't know.
Usually it is.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to win, and I don't know who to take out of my lineup. I don't know who to put in my lineup if I were to take Deontay Johnson out. So, sorry, bud. I'm kind of up shit's creek with wide receivers right now.
I understand why he's in. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
team cancer.
I mean, do you guys remember in week 10 of the season, Adam Thielen was like the fourth best wide receiver in fantasy? What happened to that? Oh,
Yeah, which is crazy.
Bryce Young. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So moving on, what I believe would be the 5-star matchup of the playoffs in week 1, even though we only have 2 to pick from. I think this matchup's going to be a little bit more exciting. The Jolly Roger and Miyagi Illuminati.
Dude, all right. I will start on the. Let's start on the Illuminati side of the ball here, right? Kyler Murray, negative matchup against the Niners at home. You got to figure he's going to be under duress, man. Is he going to have enough time to try to distribute the ball? Who knows? But if he's going to be under siege, he's probably going to be on the move. And having a quarterback that's able to run is like having a cheat code in fantasy football. So, I like the Puka Nakua matchup this week against the Manders. I feel like, Stafford continues the Rams showed a pulse this past week against a good Baltimore defense. They should have a much easier afternoon against the Manders, if you will. So if there's going to be a guy on the Illuminati side of the ball that might be the X factor, I would tag Puka this week. On the flip side, for the JR, Jahmyr Gibbs has got the biggest plus matchup against the Broncos rush defense. And, currently coming into this matchup, the Broncos are dead last in points allowed to opposing running backs. The question's going to be, is it going to be Gibbs getting the work? Or is it going to be Montgomery? But as leaky as I feel like Denver's defense has been this season, if there's going to be a home run hit, it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, before I make this pick, I want to point out that the ESPN projections on this matchup right now currently have the Jolly Roger projected to score 111 points. I have been playing fantasy football for a very long time, almost 20 years. Okay. If there's one thing that I feel for certain about is when the projection is high like that, that is usually the kiss of death. So, with that being said, I've got to go with Miyagi Illuminati somehow, some way. I mean, I'm talking like it's probably going to be something stupid like 72 to 68 this week.
Like we talked about earlier, he has that magic ability to just have a team absolutely shit the bed against him. And I think he does have a lot of good matchups this week. I think Kieran Williams against the Commanders is also a good matchup. I think Brock Purdy against the Cardinals is a good matchup. The Jolly Roger, to me, it's going to come down to you. Well, before you're talking about Bryce Young, I think Atlanta's defense against Bryce Young, and he looks like one of the biggest busts of a QB draft pick of all time, could be the key factor in this game. But I think a lot of his skill guys aren't going to show up because Miyagi just has that magical ability. And I think it's going to come down to who can score more between Atlanta's defense and Miami's defense. And I don't know why. Like you said, they're looking. If you look at the matchup, I mean, Eckler's been terrible this year. I think he's overprojected even at 11.1 or whatever he's at. And without Herbert now, who knows what's going to happen with the Chargers with Miyagi Illuminati. But I do think for some reason Miyagi pulls out the win in a low-scoring affair, 78 to 81. Just barely sneaks over, and somehow continues this magical run of getting no points scored against him.
The Dolphins' defense has scored in 3 straight games.
That they
Yeah,
have.
a defense matchup is gonna decide that matchup.
Yeah. How about something that nobody talked about, right? So, yeah, Brock Purdy, great matchup against the Cardinals. Brandon Ayuk, great matchup against the Cardinals. But you got Greg Kittle over there on the opposite side. Brock Purdy's 2 favorite targets are George Kittle and Deebo Samuel. Earlier in the season, it was Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle, right? But Deebo's gotten hot late. Where Brock Purdy distributes the ball is going to decide this matchup, right? I agree the defenses are in play, and, the Falcons are playing baby Jamarcus Russell. But, man, the skill position players on both of these teams are really going to determine the outcome, in my eyes. If Brock Purdy links up with George Kittle more than once, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for the Jolly Roger, in my eyes. But I can't go against my buddy. Jolly Roger this weekend is going to do what Miyagi has done to most of us this season. He's going to win the low-scoring affair. $81 to $80. Fire the fucking cannons.
Boy, that's a way to go out of the playoffs right there, man.
Fire the fucking cannons, dude. Yep.
Well, that was fun.
That felt way better than my pick.
Good.
I'm going to lose so bad. I'm going to lose so bad to your dad this weekend. It's going to be terrible.
Hey, I mean, listen, man, count your blessings though, right? Because if you do lose, it's my father-in-law, Will you get a text? Maybe. You know what I mean? But if you were talking about Iron Smoke 3-4 years ago with the old GM at the helm, if you'd have lost that shit, you already know his ass would have been rolling up in the store on Monday, being like, "What?
Oh yeah." Yep. Every time your dad walked in the store, Mr. Bowden. Yep, I would have gotten that Monday. I would have gotten that Tuesday morning, dude, bright and early, baby.
Ooh, man.
Yeah. I miss that, dude. I miss that, man.
Could be worse.
Yeah. It seemed like every time your dad came in, dude, I was having a bad day. And he flipped that shit around, dude.
He had that ability.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, your dad was awesome. Great man.
Oh, hey, man.
But yeah, you're right. I'm glad I'm not going to have to receive that verbal ass beating. But
well, hey, man, Tropic Thunder, appreciate you taking time out of your social schedule.
I got one more thing to say.
Oh, I might have to hit the button.
No, I got you. Don't worry. I'll be gentle. It's not Tropic Thunder. I'm a dude playing a fucking dude playing another dude. It's go.
That probably went the best way it possibly could have went. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, good luck in your fantasy playoff run. To those in the consolation bracket, good luck determining the draft. That's fun, dude. That's fun. I mean,
oh yeah, man. If anybody comes to me and is like, "Hey, I did this random way of putting it together," I'm gonna be like, "Nah, man, that's bullshit. Get out a piece of paper, write down, do your popularity contest, write all 12 of them out. You send that shit over. That's how we're doing it."
Yeah, I think the winner of the consolation bracket should get live on here with us and we're picking them.
There you go.
Draft selection show.
There you go. I like that.
I like that.
I like that.
With that being said, dude, I am going to take a shower and get out of my work clothes and spend about 7 minutes with my wife and son before we probably go to bed. So,
Sounds good, man.
have a good one, y'all.
See you.